Nandana Rajajanaranjana Yamuna Tira Banachari Yamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Chanavalava Girivaradari Gopi Chanavalava Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajachana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajachana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Banachari Yamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Shri Radha Madhava ki Srila Prabhupada ki Nitai Gaur Premanandi. So, Hare Krishna. Good morning, everybody. Inline and online. Outline. Online. Yes, before I read the Srimad Bhagavatam, I want to speak about the glorious Vaishnava whose appearance day is today. And I think it's very good to appreciate devotees and their service. Actually, it's very, very good. Makes us humble, makes us realize a bit more to be servants of the devotees. Yeah. It's not so easy to be a servant of Krishna. It's actually not so easy to be a servant of the Guru. It's not here. Of course, we serve the mission, we serve his instructions. But direct service is easily possible through the association of our common fellow devotees. And we should not think, these are just devotees, just people. We should think, these are very, very glorious personalities. Yeah. And of course, the more advanced they are, the more glorious they are. And we are very fortunate to have in our community devotees who are already 20 years, 30 years, or Akila Prabhu even more, serving in the mission. This is not a little thing, actually. As we know, there are so many devotees coming and going, especially when we stay in a place like this. We see so many devotees coming and going. Of course, some devotees just move from one temple to the other, or community to the other, but some come to Krishna and leave it also again and go somewhere else, do something else. So this is a common thing. So those who really stay in Krishna consciousness and take Prabhupada's words to heart and live by this and dedicate their whole life to that, that's a very special thing, very exalted, to say, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to serve Srila Prabhupada in his mission, and and these are glorious devotees. And we have the opportunity to serve them, to have their association, to learn from them. And yeah, of course, today is Ramananda Gopal Prabhu's appearance day. Yes, and Simhachalam, more or less, now is very much, it's like, I don't want to say his project, but in one sense, the head puchari is very important because the Lord is the center of the whole community. And the devotee who is directly serving him and organizing the whole service for him is very much, it's very central. It's very, very important, right? In the Vedic culture also, the Brahmanas, they were glorified and were served the most because they made actually peaceful, harmonic life for everyone possible. Right? They are the head of the society. In a similar way, the head puchari, who engages also other pucharis in the service, he is the spiritual head of the community. He makes possible that the Lord is blessing all the members of community with spiritual advancement, with material well-being, with social, good social environment, and all that. Yeah, so Ramananda Gopal Prabhu is doing a great service, and it's not easy. Yeah, then turn off the speaker in there. Yeah. Yeah. So, we are not glorifying him for him. We are glorifying him for you. That we appreciate. He knows about himself. Yeah. But what I want to say is that. What I want to say before he intervened. What was the last point? Taruka, du hast dir übersetzt. Kali Yuga brains. Assembly of Kali Yuga brains. What was that? What is it? Yeah. So yeah, but he's doing such an amazing service. Yeah, it's not easy. This is what I wanted to say. It's not easy. It's not easy to really do dedicated service. Day in, day out, week in, week out, year in, year out, stay here, take responsibility, say, no, I am responsible for this, and if I want or not. And believe me, it's not always great, wonderful, and you think, yes, this is wonderful. No, often you think, I want to leave, especially if you have such a service. Because it's maybe easy to worship the Lord in the altar, but it's not so easy to facilitate the whole worship and engage everyone in this service and make everyone... Because he has to stay, but the others, they leave. Oh, okay, I'm going, bye-bye. And it's, oh man, again, someone who could help and stay is going away, right? Devotees let not only the Lord down, they let also the devotees down. Yeah, you cannot... Ignore that. Yeah, we let devotees down. Yeah? And it's a shame that sometimes devotees are so neglectful of that and think, oh, I can do whatever I like, I go here, I go there, and don't understand how devotees who stay feel, because we need help. There's a big project, we need so much help. And sometimes devotees go away and they don't care. And yeah, we feel the post, it will work out, that again someone will come and do the service. But it's good if you have devotees who say, no, I will take responsibility, I will stay here and help. And help the mission. Kannst du vielleicht die kleine Glocke läuten? Ja, ich weiß. Aber die ganze Lecture wird jetzt nicht so weitergehen. Kannst du nicht die ganze Lecture die Glocke läuten? Du kannst So yeah, so we should be really grateful to the devotees who do that. Or do you want to be head puchari? No, we don't want to. We are happy that he's doing it. You do it. Or other responsible jobs, no? Yeah, someone takes on responsibility. It's a great thing. It's a really, really great thing. Yeah, so we should be very grateful and take association and appreciate the devotees and appreciate Ramananda Gopal for his service, no? And be very, very aware of that. Yeah. And in that way, we should also think about every devotee in a high esteem who are really doing wonderful service. Yeah, we sometimes are not so aware of that, but they are really beloved by Krishna. Really. They are really beloved by Krishna because Krishna is very, very grateful. Isn't it? Krishna is not thinking, oh, he's just a Kali Yuga person, he was 25 years ago having colored hair and, I don't know, maybe, and going to a punk rock concert and smoking and doing nothing, only nonsense, and from East Germany, being an East German punk rock person. No, now they are devotees, and Krishna sees, oh, it's wonderful that they are devotees now. He doesn't see the former identity. He sees now what they are doing now, and Krishna is never forgetting a service someone does for him. Krishna is so grateful. Even if someone takes only a book on the street, Krishna remembered, oh, he took a book from my devotee, he took a book about me, he said, Hare Krishna, very good. And he's already pleased and helps the person. Krishna is so easily pleased, isn't it? Krishna has a very soft heart. And even more so in Kali Yuga, through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whose heart is that of Srimati Radharani. She is very, very easily pleased. Doesn't mean that by easy pleasing you get all the perfection, right? It's not a cheap thing, not in that sense. But it means that we are already closer to Krishna, and Krishna will take care and help such a person. Yeah? And as I said, devotees who really take this very, very serious and dedicate their whole life to that, they are very, very dear to Krishna. And we should not make offenses. The worst offense you can do is offend devotees. It's the worst thing you can do, isn't it? We know that. The worst thing is to offend devotees, to be not nice to devotees, to think they are just regular guys. No? Krishna does not like that at all. So, from another point of view, it's very easy to please Krishna when you please the devotees. Give them a present when they have birthday, some kind words of appreciation, some physical help. Can I do something for you? Right? This is very, very wonderful. And yeah, we are getting inspired by that also. So, yeah, that's great. And I know Ramananda since many years now. No, he was joining in Vienna also, where I was joining, which was an interesting project at that time. It was good. And I didn't know him so much in Vienna because when he came, as far as I remember, I left. I went to another place. And then when I came back, Vienna was kind of dissolving. And then he went to Leipzig and I went to Berlin. But we met often, yeah. And he was a brahmachari for many years also, which is also not a small thing to say, I'm a brahmachari and I practice tapasya. Tapasya. Krishna says, as we studied now, tapasya is the energy by which he creates everything. Everything is created by tapasya. Yeah. Yes, yeah. Bhagavatam means everything related to Krishna. It means about devotees. How long can you blow it? You know the didgeridoo breathing style? Then you can blow it in 1 hour. Yeah, and so then there was a nice project in Leipzig where he was, and he was there also Sankirtan devotee and brahmachari for many years. And then he took initiation by Krishna Kshetra Maharaj. He tramped to, where was it? Slovenia? I think it was in Slovenia or Croatia, somewhere there. He was tramping from Leipzig to where he got initiated. Not with a train. Huh? because you missed the flight. Okay. Okay, the story a little bit different. But still, I once missed the flight too, and I was not tramping then, I was just booking another flight. That was quite stupid to miss this flight, oh my God. Then he got initiated by Krishna Kshetra Maharaj. At that time he was still brahmachari. Krishna Kshetra Maharaj was still brahmachari. Before his name was Bhaktaroni, and then his name was Ramananda Gopal Prabhu. And was very important in this Leipzig project, which was also very dynamic. All these projects in Vienna, also Berlin, also Leipzig, they were very dynamic. There were city temples, many brahmacharis, and preaching, book distribution. There was a strong mood of preaching. Yeah. Okay, I stop now. You can take the other one. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. And then things changed, and he moved to Simhachalam. Come on. There is even a bigger bell. You can take the biggest one. The big one. No, don't do it. We can do some kirtan. It's long. Yeah. And he moved here as a brahmachari and was a puchari. But then he changed into white and married Gopi Gita and has 2 wonderful children and is still here. You know, it's a... Okay, I stop now. I speak something else. Philosophical. Because it's one thing to be a brahmachari and be surrendered to the mission. This is one thing. It's easy. But it's another thing to be a grihasta and be surrendered to the mission. Right? Because grihasta, to bring everything under one roof, with family and with money and with whatever you have to do and still be completely engaged in the mission, not so many do that. Most brahmacharis kind of, okay, that was my brahmachari spiritual life, and now I take a job, get some money, or this and that. But to have the faith, no, Krishna will protect me and will maintain me. That needs some conviction. And it's not that devotees who were brahmacharis and then still serve in the mission become very successful and rich. Yeah. Right? It's not so easy to become rich as a head puchari. You can also think, oh, I go now and get some money and then I get my nice big car. Yeah, or become rich as a temple president. And when devotees cannot become rich in the mission, because that will completely make the service completely impure. Right? If you think, okay, I make career in ISKCON as a temple president. Okay, I talk about the temple president now. I don't speak about head pusharis anymore, okay? Yeah, doesn't believe me. Yes. So I speak about this, that to become rich in the mission, in the institution, this is not what devotees do. They just want to serve the mission, and all of them are living a very simple life, as they grasp to them. Very simple life. Right? How you want to make lots of money, as temple president or as a preacher, book distributor. No, you just look that you pay your bills with the money you have, and in the meantime you serve Krishna. You really, and that's why Prabhupada says brahmachari grihasta, right? Prabhupada says that it's a brahmachari grihasta. Yeah, these are also brahmacharis, still brahmacharis, not much changed. So, and it's very important that we have such devotees, because a lot of experience would leave. Right? If someone says, okay, I was a brahmachari now for 10 or 15 years, and he learned so much, right? Of course, he was serving 10 years full-time, every day, chanting his rounds, preaching, studying scripture, being dedicated. There's so much purification happening. He's so advanced, so experienced. And then if he would leave and, get some office job or something, or go to the university or something, so much experience is left the movement or the community. Right? So such devotees are very important to serve with their experience, and it's true, we make advancement with time. we overcome all these stupid anarthas we had in the beginning. This is no issue anymore. This ego is gone. And with such an purified consciousness, you can help the devotees so much. As I said, when I joined in Vienna, we were all young people. And we did not know much. So of course it was difficult to make advancement, get good answers, get good advice for life, right? It's difficult if you have kind of a kindergarten of devotees, right? So devotees of experience who really know something, they are very, very valuable. This is very helpful, right? So we should behave in a way that such devotees stay, they are pleased, they are happy, they are willing to serve in their capacity, and we should not behave in a contrary way in this sense. Do you know what I mean? Everyone understands what I mean? Right? So it's very important. Yeah. So we should have a nice Vaishnava atmosphere, Vaishnava service, being always polite, being nice, being grateful, being humble, service attitude. And so then we advance also nicely. So we're very grateful. Thank you very much, Ananda Gopal Prabhu, for being here, for whisking the whisk. No, I just said thank you. This is over now. It's done. And looking forward for the cheesecake, yeah? The traditional cheesecake. I know, normally every year makes a cheesecake. It's a very good cheesecake maker. Do you advise not to do? Okay, then make something else. We will be amazed by your creative spirit in pleasing the tongues of the devotees. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you so much. Now we will speak on the Bhagavatam in that more direct also in this way. So, what verse? 10, ja? 4, 19, 10. Iti Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Iti cha doksha cheshasya. Iti cha doksha cheshasya. Pritostu paramodayam. Pritostu paramodayam. Asuyan Bhagavan Indra. Asuyan Bhagavan Indra. Pratikatam achikarat. Pratikatam achikarat. Iti cha doksha cheshasya. Pritostu paramodayam. Asuyan Bhagavan Indra. Pratikatam achikarat. Okay. Iti cha doksha cheshasya. Pritostu paramodayam. Asuyan Bhagavan Indra. Pratikatam achikarat. Someone? Primosh? Rija Joksha Cheshas, yeah. Jacob, want to try? Iti chadoksha cheshasya ipritostu paramo dayam soyan Bhagavan Indra pratikatam achikarat. Very good. So, Vaishnavis. Iti chadoksha cheshasya itostu paramodayam asuyan Bhagavan Indra pratikatam achikarat. Iti chadoksha cheshasya itostu paramodayam asuyan Bhagavan Indra pratikatam achikarat. Iti, thus, cha, also, adokshaja ishasya, who accepted adokshaja as his worshipable Lord. Prithu, of King Prithu, to, then, parama, the topmost, udayam, opulence, asuyan, being envious of, Bhagavan, the most powerful, Indra, the king of heaven, pratikatam, impediments, achikarat, made. King Prithu was dependent on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as the Adokshaja. Because King Prithu performed so many sacrifices, he was superhumanly enhanced by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. King Prithu's opulence, however, could not be tolerated by the King of Heaven, Indra, who tried to impede the progress of his opulence. So here, before I read the purport, we hear about King Prithu's qualities, and people at that time, it's sometimes difficult to understand Shastra in a more clear or precise, or I would even say scientific way or historical way. You know, these sound like stories. They are from far, long gone ages, and we don't really see the context or the whole situation, let's say like this. And if we try to understand it, of course, we need some imagination to fill out the gaps to understand it. But at least we could envision a world in which a king like Prithu would rule the world. How it must be for the people. Of course, it's hard to understand because we have no experience of that, but we can imagine. And especially in contrast to nowadays, where people have so many troubles, and the main culprit are definitely the leaders of society. Right? In many places there are signs, when there's a construction site or a special site, there are signs. Eltern haften für ihre Kinder. Right? Parents are responsible for their children. If something happens there, and it's done by children, parents, it's not the child, it's the parents. And in a similar way, the people who listen to the advice of the leaders, they are children. Of course, we are adults and all that, but still, we cannot help ourselves. If there's a new law, you cannot ignore it. And it's done by them. So they force us to do something, good or bad, whatever, but we have to abide by their order. So different laws. So the leaders, they set the standard. They are responsible. And one of the main reasons why the world is so crazy is because they don't know what to do. Because they don't know what to do. Right? What's so difficult to bring peace to the world? Of course it's difficult. Of course it's like a crazy situation. But it's possible if everyone would be a little bit detached and say, okay, we stop everything now and peace. And this should be the motivation for all human beings. to be peaceful. Whatever was before, we forget it. And it must be done like this. Of course, some will say, but it's not fair if you freeze the situation. Say, okay, we stop everything now. Now is peace. Some don't like it because they are in a disadvantageous position. But if peace now, and it stays like this, he has more than me. I don't want the peace. The other will say, yes, peace is good now. It's good now because I got what I wanted. And the other one says no. So this is why they still keep on fighting. They want to come to an so-called fair situation, and then we make peace. When everything is fair, and then we can freeze. But until that, we have to work in a war to come to this ideal situation. Then we make peace. But this will never happen. This is why the wars and problems in the world go on and on and on, because always someone will feel, oh, this is not fair. I have to, again, fight for my thing. And the only solution is Krishna consciousness. Actually, Isha Vasyamidam Sarvam. Yeah? In this verse, when we hear that everything belongs to the Lord, and everyone should take only what he really needs, and we don't need much. And sometimes I get the question also in my online preaching, and I think we get it often, the question of overpopulation. Because it said there are too many people on the earth, right? We are now 8 billion or something, and it's simply too much. And the earth is suffering, and it's a problem, and we are too many. We should not be so many. We need more war and more disease that we become less again. I was around hunters in the past because I was studying Forstwirtschaft, yeah, and I was how to say in English Forstwirtschaft, economy of economy of trees, forest economy, Forstwirtschaft. And one thing is that there are not only trees in the forest. There are many animals in the forest. And many deer and Wildeber, yeah, and foxes and whatever. But the main thing are the deers actually. And you have to see that your Deerbestand, der Rotwildbestand, is not too big, actually. And this is also why foresters have to shoot them. They shoot them. Because if you have too many, they eat the trees. Of course, not the big trees. You see a small deer. Oh, there's a whole German oak. Oh, they eat all. Deers eat all the trees. No, they eat the small trees. You know, when you plant new trees, because they have actually very soft Knospen, and eat them and they cannot grow. And this is what you want. You want to have new forests. And it's a whole science. That's why it's a whole science, right? So they shoot them. So to keep everything at level. So this is also how the powerful people want to think. You know, we are too many humans, we have to keep it at level. We need some war, we have to shoot them. Like the forest goes in the forest and shoots the deer, so we'll be shot. That's why we need a war. And we need more diseases, or we need very bad food. Because if we have very healthy food, we live too long, so we need bad food for them. All kinds of stuff, crazy stuff. But the point is, there is no overpopulation. Like here, is there overpopulation here in Jandelsbrunn, in the Bavarian forest? Is there overpopulation? Is it so crowded that we cannot move? Look out of the window. I see not one human being. Go on the Dreisesselberg, you see all around. You see no human beings, almost, in comparison to the land. And this is also what Prabhupada said. He said, I drive everywhere, I drive through the land. There are no people, there's so much land, there's so much space. How can you speak about overpopulation? There is no overpopulation. Okay, you say, but it's not about the land, it's about the resources. There's not enough energy, there are not enough flats, there's not enough food sometimes. This is the problem. Land we have. But it's a fact that all this can be adjusted. And there is no overpopulation, it's just a mismanagement of resources. This is all it is. It's just a mismanagement of resources. It's simple like this. It's not just that some have too much and some have too little. It's that to keep certain economic balance, they have to destroy sometimes the resources. So it's simply not spread out nicely. Right? So there's no overpopulation. So the leaders, they are responsible for all these problematic situations, and this is why the Bhagavatam glorifies the kings. Right? The Bhagavatam is equally glorifying the kings as it is glorifying the devotees or the saintly persons. Because the kings were saintly, and they were directly in contact with the people and taking care of the people. This is such an selfless, wonderful activity, or to take care of others. And the kings were doing that. They were sacrificing themselves for their people. It was more important for them that everyone is happy than that they are happy. Like a father. A father is more concerned that his children are happy than his own happiness. This is most important to him. Or a mother also. Right? Yeah. There was this story of, what was it, King Rantidev? Was a great, great, great king. And he was the king of the world. And he was fasting, I think for Ekadashi or something. Fasting for a long time. Already this is amazing, right? All these leaders, why are they so fat and ugly? Because they only eat and take drugs and smoke and go to all these parties and just enjoy their life. Now I heard in the Bundestag they want to increase again the salary, 600 euros more a month. Just like that. Oh, you have to give us a little bit more. And the most stupid politician of the whole world is now the leader of the UN. She cannot even talk properly. She's now, and she gets, I don't know, and it's said that actually Germany is paying for that, and she gets, 30,000 euros a month or something. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, this is Kali Yuga, this is Kali Yuga. So this king, this was a great, great king, and he was not doing that. He was not taking advantage of the people. He was serving them, and he was fasting. Oh, it is my holy duty to fast. And sometimes there are leaders who do that, especially in India, like Modi. He's also keeping Ekadashi and things like this, I don't know if he's only, following good principles, but you hear sometimes. Anyway, so he was fasting for a long time, and then I mix up, was it Rantide? Who was then, and then he wanted to break the fast. I think it was like this. Someone can correct me. He wanted to break the fast, and he was already really, if you fast, food and drink or water even becomes nectar. Right? If you do a Bhima Ekadashi, actually, Friday, Pandava Nirjal Ekadashi, everyone knows? Yes? Yeah, you should know. Prepare yourself already. And Nirjal, it's called Nirjal, not even water. And the next day, when you break the fast, most people just break it with water. Water becomes nectar. Then you think this is the best thing in the whole universe, water. Because you appreciate so much because you haven't drunk so long. So food and simple foods become so delicious when you're hungry or when you're fasting, right? So he was already there. He wanted to break his fast after such a long time. And right in the moment when he wanted to break, some Shudra comes in. No, at first I think it was a Brahmana. First was a Brahmana. And the Brahmana says, "Oh, my dear king, I'm so hungry. I have nothing to eat. Please give me something to eat." And the king said, "Oh, sure, here, have something to eat." And he gives from that what he wanted to eat to break his fast. Then he wants to eat again, and suddenly comes a Shudra. The same thing. "Okay, here for you." And then in the end there was a dog, wasn't it? There was a dog coming. Give him the dog. And he had nothing. Yeah. So he was not concerned about his own health or well-being. He was more concerned about the other people. But wasn't it that something with and then these were the demigods or something. The demigods actually tested him and then revealed, oh, we just want to test you. Yeah, if you're really abiding by Dharma. Because Dharma is most important to such personalities. Dharma. Dharma is the law. Dharma is the higher spiritual principle, the spiritual moral. And such a personality has a very high sense for Dharma. Do you have also sense for Dharma? Do you have sense for Dharma that you feel, okay, some situation, this is not right. It has to be changed. And I have to change it. And even it will mean something bad for me. Right? But sometimes we should have a sense for Dharma. This is not right. We should change that. Or we should keep Dharma. Yeah? Honesty or some fairness or whatever it is. No? But sometimes we have this feeling, oh, this is not right. And to correct it is actually disadvantage for me. Like to give donations for grihastas. This is the most terrible thing. Grihastas are so attached to money. So attached to money. Money is so great, so wonderful. Yeah. And you're so happy when you look on your bank balance and you see how much money you have when you have more. And then it gets more and it gets more and it gets more. Some people, they are just collecting money. Like Dagobert Duck. You know Dagobert Duck? No? He's a duck. He's a Schnabel. Schnabel. And he's very rich. Yeah, it's a little strange duck you will not find on the regular pond. And he has a big Geldspeicher. He has a Geldspeicher. Yeah, it's just a Quader. It's like the Kaaba. It looks like the Kaaba. And it's filled with money. And he's always swimming in the money and the coins and everything. It's just from Disney, whatever. But he's enjoying, oh, I'm so rich, I have all this money. And if one coin would be missing, it would be so terrible for him. Oh no, one coin is missing. Like if you have on your bank balance, some just saving, right? They enjoy having more and more money. And then you finally hit 10,000 euros or 100,000 euros or 1 million euros. Wow, it's so nice. And if there would be written 999,999.99 it was terrible. Oh no! Oh no! It must be complete. It must have more. Right? So grihastas, Griyamedis, whatever, they are very attached to money. They love their money. And to give it away for like nothing, like a donation is like give away for nothing, this is not nice. This is very difficult. No investment, nothing comes back. I cannot get anything. I'm not buying anything. I'm just giving it. Oh, I cannot do that. I don't want to do that. It's terrible. But this is Dharma. Dharma means Grihasta must give. Actually, Grihasta should have only as much as he needs to survive. I don't know who is really following that, but Grihasta should give, especially to the mission. So this is Dharma. So this is the king here. Prithu was such a powerful king. Imagine you have such a wonderful king, a real person as a leader and not some bureaucrat, politician, lobbyist, criminal, corrupted person. Yesterday I was reading in the Bhagavatam the duty of the women, 7th canto, duty of the women. I wanted to read it to my wife also then, but I will read it to her. And first duty of the woman is to always support and be kind to the husband. This is the first thing what is written there. Not written to have a PhD in biology or something, or to be 90, 60, 90. 90, 60, 90, 90, 60, 90. That's the ideal shape. No. Or have blonde hair, or sing nicely. No. First duty is to be loyal, to be supporting, be kind to husband, to be very supporting the relatives of the husband, to serve the husband. It was all about that. And Prabhupada said this makes, and to always clean the house nicely. This was the duty of the wife. And then I was thinking, okay, that's true. And when we read that, especially a woman, she might think, oh, this is too heavy or something. Or the man will think, oh, my dear Devi, let's read the Bhagavatam together. Hear what Prabhupada says to you, to us today. We'll just read the Bhagavatam. Oh, I was not searching for that. It came up now. Listen carefully. Yeah. And a woman actually wants to do that. She has no problem with that. But only if the husband is also worthy of that. You know? Because then she can do that. She wants to do that for sure. So there are also duties for the husband, of course. Yeah. And they are very big. Very, very big. Yeah. So, so the king was glorified here, King Prithu, and what a wonderful world they were living in, to have such a personality as a leader. And as I said, nowadays it's the opposite situation. But because of all this unfairness in the world, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us an easy process. If everything would be perfect, and Satya Yuga King and everything wonderful, we would have to do a lot to get to Goloka Vrindavan. Everything is of course relative, then we would be also more qualified, but still, the good thing in all this trouble and nonsense is that by simply chanting Hare Krishna, you go back home, back to Godhead. So actually we can be happy that Kali Yuga is there, and Kali Yuga means all this craziness. Okay, I haven't read the purport, so now the purport. In this verse, there are 3 significant purposes expressed in the word Adokshacha: Bhagavan, Indra, and Prithu. Maharaj Prithu is an incarnation of Vishnu, yet he is a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. Although an empowered incarnation of Lord Vishnu, he is nonetheless the living entity. As such, he must be a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although one is empowered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead and is an incarnation, he should not forget his eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Kali Yuga, there are many self-made incarnations, rascals, who declare themselves to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The words Bhagavan, Indra indicate that the living entity can even be as exalted and powerful as King Indra, for even King Indra is an ordinary living entity in the material world and possesses the 4 defects of the conditioned soul. King Indra is described herein as Bhagavan, which is generally used in reference to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this case, however, King Indra is addressed as Bhagavan because he has so much power in his hands. Despite his becoming Bhagavan, he is envious of the incarnation of God, Prithu Maharaj. The defects of material life are so strong that due to contamination, King Indra becomes envious of an incarnation of God. We should try to understand therefore how a conditioned soul becomes fallen. The opulence of King Prithu was not dependent on material conditions, as described in this verse. He was a great devotee of Adokshacha. The word Adokshacha indicates the personality of Godhead, who is beyond the expression of mind and words. However, the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears before the devotee in his original form of eternal bliss and knowledge. The devotee is allowed to see the Supreme Lord face to face, although the Lord is beyond the expression of our senses and beyond our direct perception. Prabhupada was speaking here about the self-made incarnations, rascals who declare themselves to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this is in Kali Yuga very common. Actually, I don't know, maybe for us in the West it's not so problematic, because when I heard sometimes that someone is considered to be God, this made no sense at all to me. But in India, because maybe also of the whole tradition and the Hinduism in general, it's more easy that people are that this can happen to them, that they think a human being is God. I don't know. For me, this was never, an issue. How can a human being be God? This is ridiculous. But in India, it's very common that they accept some person, yogi, whatever. Oh, he's God. He's Bhagavan. He's like Krishna. He's like Mahaprabhu. He's like Ramachandra. Because Krishna appeared in human form, right? We don't have this so much in theology. Of course, we have Jesus. So it could happen also someone says, oh, I'm Jesus. I'm back again or something. But because in India, there's so many human forms who are God, maybe it's easier for them to get tricked into that. But still, you must be a little bit confused to really think, some Swami is God, right? And what can we say? People, fools and rascals, what to do? Sometimes people want to think like that, believe that. Like in Germany now, we have this guru from India who is very present here. I think Germany is his main base now, and his followers believe he's God. Germans, even Germans, not just Indians, actually Germans believe he's God. I don't know if you say stupid, is this unfair? They are stupid. How stupid must you be? Oh no, because he smiled at me, or he appeared in my dream, or he sings so nicely. Oh, because the others say it. Oh yes, it's true, he's God. Yes, in the beginning I was not sure, but now I know because he appeared in my dream. I saw him in my dream. Now, he's God. People are so sentimental. They have no clue. But what to do, If they don't listen to the right sources, they get cheated and bewildered. Too bad for them. And it's even funny when this happens to devotees. Sometimes even devotees think, oh no, he is God, or he is a great guru or something. He appeared in my dream. Okay, Hare Krishna. A little bit shocked. Oh really? Okay, good. Yes, of course. Very uncomfortable situation. Don't want to tell a devotee he's stupid. Man, are you stupid or what? What's going on with you? No, because we live in the age of appreciation. No, it's great, yes, go your way, if this is what you feel, then do it. Yes, great, we wish you all the best. It was nice that you were here, and all the best. Man, what's going on, bewildered. So, but Prabhupada says it here, rascals, and then they worship the rascal on his throne and worship all this. What is the verse? Bhagavatam, you learned it. Sangstuta purusha pashu, svavitvara hastra karai, samstuta purusha pashu. How's it going? Too quickly asked. You should be like a marine. When you wake him at night, he will cut your throat. Isn't it? We had in Austria, we had the Feldjäger. How was it? Feldjäger or something? And they said, and one guy, we knew him somehow or other, he was there, and we said, oh, be very careful. If you, scare him or something, he will turn around and will plug out your eyes or something. And so he always said, oh, okay. Right? Because you're trained like that. Immediately. Take out your heart. Things like this. So, the devotees should be immediately, zack, da ist der Schlucker. But we are not, I know. It's not that I'm like this. But the verse says, what does the verse say?
People who are like dogs, hogs, camels, and asses praise those who are never listening to the transcendental customs of the
Yeah. Yeah. People who are hogs, dogs, camels, and asses always praise those who are never listen to the glories of the Lord, who are more or less the big dog, the big hog, the big camel. Just animals. No clue about anything. Yeah, he's very good. Oh, he did something very good. Oh, he appeared in my dream. Oh, he smiled at me. Oh, he has this and that. And praise him. Huh? And these rascals have no clue about anything, more or less. They have actually no clue about anything. And every sane person will immediately understand, this guy is a cheater. He's a fraud. He has no clue. This is obvious. But everyone hates him. How dare you say this about our great Swamiji? How dare you offend the God? Stone him. Stone him. He blasphemed the God. Right? So, but this is also in political circles. Sometimes they are like political parties. They are also like cults. Because it's like cultish mentality. When everything's the same and you're not allowed to say anything, you are not allowed to think for yourself. It's like a cult. This is like the prime definition of cult. This is what they accused us always of. Huh? You are in a cult because you don't think for yourself. Right? But I think a good devotee is thinking more for himself than like majority of all the people of the whole world. And now, especially in this political situation, you see this also. This is what we think, and this is what we believe. And if someone, hey, maybe this is nonsense. Oh, how dare you, you Nazi! This is now what they do. You're a Nazi because you don't believe in what we say. No, things like this. Kill him! He said, windmills are not beautiful. We have to kill him. Hang him on the windmill. He said they are not beautiful. So this is also Kali Yuga. So, and then in the end, Prabhupada was speaking about what I found very interesting, that even though Krishna, so complete different point now, that Krishna is Adokshacha. Who remembers what means Adokshacha? Someone remembered Adokshacha, what Prabhupada said? Or what does it mean, the word Adokshacha?
We cannot perceive the Lord by the senses.
Yeah, we cannot perceive the Lord by the senses. Is Adokshacha. No, this word Dokshacha refers to the senses. Anyway, so he is not perceived by the senses. He cannot be seen and all that. But even though the Lord is beyond the senses, Prabhupada says here, a devotee can see him in his original form of eternal bliss and knowledge. The devotee is allowed to see the Supreme Lord face to face, although the Lord is beyond the expression of our senses and beyond our direct perception. And we like to think that Prabhupada speaks here out of experience, isn't it? That is not just a philosophical explanation, that Prabhupada really knows right now what he's talking about. This is what we like to think. That Prabhupada says, yes, even though Krishna is transcendental, beyond the senses, invisible, but I've seen him. Right? This is what Prabhupada, this is what could be meant here. Face to face. I've seen him face to face. Prabhupada said, I've seen him face to face. I've seen Krishna face to face. So Prabhupada says this very often, face to face, right? It's very normal, he says, is to see Krishna face to face. It's not just not normal because we are in Maya. And if we would really, really want to see Krishna face to face, this will happen very soon. Because if you really want, then you do everything what is necessary. And then definitely we will see Krishna face to face. But this is our problem. We don't want to see Krishna face to face. We are not enthusiastic to experience that. It's too far away for us or whatever. But this should be the mission. I want to see Krishna face to face. What does that mean? That means I have to love him. I have to have a relationship with him. And what do I have to do what do I have to do for reaching that? Yeah, I have to do everything properly. Isn't it? Chant the holy name at first properly, in the morning time with devotees, kirtan, Bhagavatam study, all that. No maya, no diversions. Right? The devotees, because I want to see Krishna face to face. Imagine seeing Krishna face to face. The lover of the Lord. We should be lovers of the Lord. This should be most important. We have the best thing, right? On the silver plate, Prabhupada is handing us the best of the best, right? Krishna. And we are hesitant. That's my Maya. So, but Prabhupada saw Krishna face to face, was talking with him, discussing with him, experiencing him. Yeah, that's the most amazing. So we should also follow in these footsteps, hear about Krishna. I was reading 2 days ago something about, it's the beginning of the 13th chapter, which is called the Brahma Vimohana Lila, right? Brahma Vimohana Lila, the Lila of the bewilderment of Brahma, when Brahma was bewildered. And it starts that Krishna was saving all his friends from the mouth of Aghasura, that he was saving them from the mouth of Aghasura. And then they came out, and then Krishna said to them, let's go to this beautiful place and take our breakfast. And then they went to a very beautiful place, and Krishna was sitting with his cowherd friends there. And then Krishna spoke to them, oh, just see this beautiful place. It was at the bank of the Yamuna. And the first thing is, he said, oh, such soft and clean sands. He was explaining to them, he was praising Vrindavan actually, to his friends. Such clean and soft sand. So they were sitting this whitish, soft sand on the bank of the Yamuna. Beautiful place. And see the lotus flowers. They have such a beautiful smell. I don't know how lotus flowers smell actually, but must be very, very nice. When you smell, wow, such a good smell. Huh? And see all the birds and all the bees, they are flying to these lotus flowers to enjoy this beautiful smell. This is a very beautiful place, and all the cowbirds were sitting there and enjoying and listening to Krishna, and Krishna explained to them. Then they were taking their breakfast together. So, but my point is, I was reading that, and I was really thinking, meditating on this, and it became, clear in my mind. And then I thought, wow, a powerful meditation, just to read such 2-3 shlokas with attention and think about it, reflect on it and meditate on it, and actually the whole picture of the scene manifested. And it was so beautiful just when I read, when Krishna said, when it was just said, and Krishna said to them. Just somehow or other, some small things become suddenly very impressionable, so to say. So this is our gift, the Bhagavatam, the stories about Krishna, beautiful stories about Krishna, and so we will see Krishna face to face, also in our study of Shastra. Really, we see Krishna actually face to face in our study of the Shastra. Darshan. Okay, Hare Krishna, it's 9 o'clock. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Any questions or something to add? Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, thank you very much, Prabhu, for this interesting structured lecture.
It was not structured.
It was very nice.
It was not structured.
And I want to use this also, as you were in the beginning. You were talking about how it's important that we appreciate devotees and to recognize actually how valuable they are and what amazing life they are living when they are completely dedicating themselves to the mission. And I fully agree with this, and how Krishna likes these devotees. And my question is, I reflect a little bit on myself, because another point you made in the lecture is that you were asking this, do you also, dharma, you said, do you also see yourself that you are following dharma?
Mm.
And one thing that came into my mind is this kind of sense of truthfulness, because we live in the Kali Yuga, and there's, it said only truthfulness is still remaining.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
And
It's still something what is valued by the people. Right.
And sometimes we have this, right, I see that in myself, this kind of, maybe I would call it attachment to truthfulness, to say, oh no, this is not according to Shastra, this is speculation. And sometimes this kind of can go into a sense of maybe fault finding, maybe, from my position it might be fault finding, but for a position of another more advanced devotee, the learned devotee, from him it might be
Yeah.
So and sometimes this could be a conflict for me, that my position is not to find fault and to say, Prabhu, this is speculation, but at the same time I cannot just ignore it. Somewhere or other I have to say it, or not maybe I have to say it, but I have to make it a topic, or I have to bring it out. You cannot just ignore it. So this thing that can be a clash. So at a certain, I don't want to offend a devotee, especially a devotee who I admit and I see completely he is so valuable and valuable for my own spiritual life also. But sometimes there may be things where I could say, this is speculation. So how do I treat this appropriately?
Yeah, it's true. The sense for dharma can clash with our appreciating devotees, but it doesn't have to be. Nobody's perfect. I think it's a very good slogan. Nobody's perfect. And if there's a devotee we all make mistakes, simpler like that. And it's for me no issue when some devotee makes a mistake. Of course, it's a big mistake is something else. Yeah, it depends also on your relationship to the devotee, and if you can address it. Because if I have a good relationship to a devotee, I can address any problem I have or tell him, or isn't it speculation, or this and that. We can talk about it. Especially it comes with a mood of respect. Yeah. But if it doesn't come like this, sometimes, of course, we are in the ego. If you tell me, oh, isn't that speculation what you said? And, oh, I might be an ego, how? No? Of course, we should be humble, saying, yeah, true, you're right, I was speculating. What's the problem to admit I was speculating? What's the problem to admit I made a mistake? What's even the problem to admit I made a mistake and I still cannot change it? I make so many mistakes and I don't learn from them actually. And I still keep on doing them, and even like to keep on doing them because I'm attached. This is normal. But it depends what kind of thing it is, If it's a big thing, a very problematic thing, of course, we have to talk about it and correct it or do something about it as a community, whatever. Depends on the thing. But if sometimes there are small things, nobody's perfect, and it's not, it's even personal, right? It depends also in which setting it is. If it affects the whole community, right? If before my lecture I don't get a cup of water, I want to have here some beer every time, I probably would not, if I can do that at home, maybe not even here because I'm living here, but if I would live outside, I can drink my beer. Even as a devotee, I can drink my beer. Why not? I could do that. And I could even say, sometimes, sorry, I shouldn't talk about the beer so much, but you can do that, but what's the quality of your spiritual life then? Okay, I can drink beer, Manuel, you cannot. I can do that. I'm sure I could drink a beer or 5 and we'll have no problem with it. Not that I wouldn't get drunk, I'm not such a person, but I have no issue with it, let's say like this. So, for some, must be careful. But my point is, how does it affect the community or you, and in which sense does it have to be corrected, right? It's very individual. So, but nobody's perfect, and as I said, small mistakes. Yeah, what is small mistake? Yeah, well, it's very, it needs a more example. But in general, I see many mistakes also in me and other devotees. Some I address, some I don't. But I try to do it in a detached way. I try not to be personal or kind of offended or attack someone with it. Don't use it from my ego perspective to put someone down or something. And if I do this in a detached way, I don't want to offend the devotee. I want to, out of any reason, I want to address it. And then it's no problem. And the other devotee should also consider that, shouldn't be in the ego. Yeah, you're right, this was a speculation. Okay, can be seen from another. Thank you. And that's it, What's the problem? Right? What's the problem? So humility needs to be always there. Loving mood from the one who sees something and the one who did something. And it's not a big thing. Right? So detachment in that sense. No? But Dharma, if this Dharma, as I said, affects others, it's like really something critical, for sure it has to be addressed, and the person has to be even corrected. Right? Okay. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. I say goodbye, but you say hello. Other way around, huh? Hello. Yeah.
Told me that you have key from
Booklager.
office.
From his office.
Yeah,
Yes,
because
yes.
I would like use today evening.
But he said to me I should not let anyone in.
Okay.
Not let anyone in. Maybe you have a permit?
Yeah, I can show you.
Okay, so yeah, so when do you need?